Neil, you good?
Yeah. Sorry,
You
I'm a bit late.
Fireplace isn't still on, is it?
No, she's dormant.
Um,
How cold it was earlier this month, but no, fireplace is off.
yeah, right. Let's just stand ourselves up. We're gonna work on our hips and our hamstrings. We're gonna work on internal rotation of the hips, and we're gonna work some strength of the hamstrings. I'll flick this up a little bit so you can see kind of what's going on here. Or maybe I just need to step further back. I'm always trying to find the right angle for all of this stuff. So feel free to grab onto your friend or grab onto a wall, whatever. We're going to do some hip circles. Just make them smaller if you need to. I'm just going to interlace my fingers and kind of hold my chest. That's a comfy little position for me. Oh, sweet. We're getting more and more. And what we'll do is we'll just lift the knee up. We'll pull the knee sideways, and we'll bring the knee behind us. Nothing too special, not a big effort. Let's do another rep. We'll try to just pull a little higher. We'll try to pull a little bit further to the side. We'll try to keep a little bit more height while we pull it behind us.
Danny will be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
Keep going.
And even a little bit harder with everything. So bigger effort. And rep number 4, even a little bit more. And now rep number 5, your working set, the hardest effort.
Yeah.
Good. And you can just shake out that support leg really quick. And then same thing on the other side. So just like super casual, like empty barbell rep. Knee doesn't have to come up even to the line of the hip. We'll pull it out to the side a little bit. Pull it behind us a little bit, nothing wild. Now we'll pull the knee a little higher. We'll pull it a little further sideways. We'll try to keep it a little bit higher while we pull it backwards. And again, just keep increasing the intensity of how hard you're contracting and how big of a circle you're making, bigger and bigger. Last rep, really big. Pull it sideways, pull it back. Good, and then just shake those legs out again. So our internal rotation, if we just lift our knee up and we have it shooting straight ahead of us, and without letting the knee sway side to side, we'll try to pivot from the angle of the knee or the line of the knee to twist the thigh inwards. So we're trying to turn the heel out away from our body's center line or midline. Cool? So just see how that feels. And now if you pull your knee sideways and try to do the same thing again, and just try to just listen to that hip socket and how does it feel. And then same thing on the other leg. Lift it up. Try to keep it right in front of you. Try not to let it sway at all while you twist it out. And then pull it sideways and see how that feels. Twist it in, twist in, twist in. So what you might have noticed, when you pulled your knee sideways and tried to twist it in, you might have noticed your leg drops really low to the floor. And if your leg drops pretty significantly, you're probably kind of challenged in your internal rotation, and you'll just want to work your best when we go through this stretch at just keeping it maybe a little bit more chill so you don't end up irritating anything. So I'll go right here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to get down to my 90-90 position. So in that 90-90 position, the ideal setup is shin and opposite thigh parallel to each other, shin and opposite thigh parallel to each other. But you can always try to just point the toes of that trail leg away from the shin, and that might help decrease some stress if you're feeling it through the inside of the knee. And you could always play around with just bending or closing the back side of the knee a little bit or opening it up a touch. We're going to try to feel a stretch through the inside of our hip, and not only like the inside, kind of like our groin, but actually within the capsule of the hip itself. So what we're going to do here is if we just try to find some height through the torso, and we just start to rotate towards that trail leg a little bit. And if we try to roll our hips backwards, so if you think about your belt buckle and trying to lift the belt buckle to face the ceiling, as you tuck tail between legs, you might notice that that starts to fire that stretch in the hip up a little bit more. You can always turn into it a little bit more. You can add just a little bit of a side bend through the torso to try to add into that stretch some more. And you can also dive your chest towards that trail leg a little bit until you feel that little stretch going on. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to set a little timer here, and I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to just chill out, do some breathing, big inhale nose, big exhale mouth. We're trying to stretch the inside of that trail leg. And if you're not finding the stretch, try not to panic and try to rush to position. It might be 2 minutes of just kind of trying to find something or to feel something. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's taken time to really find the right internal rotation stretch on that trail leg for myself and a lot of people that I've worked with. But the payoff, once you find it, is so valuable. It's so important for the health of your hip. So remember, just spending some time where you are and trying to do a little bit of breathing can go a long way. Deep inhale, big exhale, trying to let all the musculature relax. The other thing is that we don't really realize sometimes we're just so tonic through all of that tissue. The reason why we're not feeling a stretch is because the muscles around that area just won't let go. They just keep contracting. So just keep kind of toying around with it. You can think about trying to pull your hip away from your knee. So if you just try to plant your knee into the floor a little bit, and from there, start reaching the knee to the camera or to your computer, and pull your hip away from it. And that might help you find that little separational strain through the inside of the hip. So here's what I want you guys to do, just a really low effort. I want you to think about trying to rotate off the line of the knee to push your heel, that back heel, into the floor. Imagine there's a scale underneath of it, and I want you to start adding weight to that scale. So I want you to see the numbers going up on the scale. And just incrementally start trying to add more and more weight to the scale by rotating harder and harder through the line of that hip. So we're trying to twist the hip outwards, external rotation. We're thinking about scooping the leg through the floor. And just keep building that up harder and harder for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Just gently let those muscles go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to try to twist inwards. So imagine you want to get that scale to read 0. Try to pull the foot off of the scale by rotating through the knee line to twist the thigh inwards and pull yourself into a deeper stretch. Feel that becoming more active. The more you twist, the harder you twist, the more you're going to try to tuck tail between legs, and you're going to feel the inside of your thigh flattening to the floor, closer to the hip end. Just keep building that effort up. Try not to let your abs squeeze. So just connect to the top side of the outside of your hip as rotating you deeper into the stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, just gently let those muscles go. So probably, maybe not, likely what you'll want to do is just drop down onto your elbow and try to keep your shoulder, hip, and knee relatively in line with each other. we're going to try to reconnect to those same muscles that just pulled us deeper into the stretch. And our goal now is for those muscles to lift the heel off of the floor. If I squeeze everything in my body tight, like I'm about to do a 1 rep max deadlift, and then rotate from the hip, I can just barely get my heel, you guys can see, off of the floor. So let's all do that together. Let's tighten everything up. Pack some air into your stomach. Deep breath in. Twist and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Gently let the muscles go. Again, twist and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Gently let the muscles go. Again, 5, 4, 3, 2. Gently let it go. Try to just pull your knee backwards a little bit. Feel that hamstring kind of wanting to grab. Hold that in place like you're trying to donkey kick, and add that to the twist. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let it go. And one more time. Rotate. 5, pull back. 4, 3, 2, let it go. Gentle. Good job. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll just change positions. I'm going to set a little timer here. And remember, it's just 2 minutes to try to find a stretch through the inside and deep within the capsule of that hip. So as you start to rotate towards the trail leg, that should get stronger. And then as you try to roll the hips backwards, so think about lifting the front side of your pants up, then that stretch you might feel getting stronger. Try not to let that front leg pop up, so try to pin that knee down on the floor. You can even grab a yoga block and stick it under that knee if it's really up off of the ground. We're just camping out here doing some breathing. How's it coming on the other side there, you guys? You finding that stretch at all? Yeah? Neil's got it? Matt, Cynthia, you got anything going on? Good? Sweet? Trudy, Grant, got some feelings? Nice. Hanging in?
We got feelings.
We got feelings.
Oh, good. And I haven't hurt them. Deep breathing. See if you can't just lean into that trail knee a little bit more. As you lean towards it, as you twist towards it and lean into it, try not to let it affect the shape of your back. So try not to let your back start to round too much as you go towards it. Think about trying to stay tall through the spine. All right, so here we go. We're going to try and resist that rotation by twisting the leg the other way. So again, we're just going to gently start rotating that knee outwards, and we'll feel more and more pressure of that trail heel pressing into the ground to make the scale read heavier and heavier. You can even see my thumb acting as a fake hip, and as my thumb twists outwards, that's that effort increasing slowly. So we're not putting on the gas hard, we're just gradually ramping up more and more. 5, 4, 3, 2, gently let those muscles go. And then now let's gently start putting the gas the other way. Watch that thumb again, just slowly turning the other direction. Trying to add more and more internal rotation through that trail leg. So make sure you're not peaking yet. You've still got some more energy to give to it, some more contraction to try to grab harder. 5, 4, 3, 2, just gently let that stuff relax. Drop down to your elbow if you need to. You're welcome to stay upright if you want. But again, we'll try to rotate through the hips. So we'll do a rep here. We'll rotate and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, gentle, letting it down. Big air, pack it into the stomach. Rotate, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, let it go. Again, twist and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, let it down. Last rep, twist and hold. Try to reach the leg backwards while you twist it in. Get that hamstring involved. 5, 4, 3, 2, gentle, letting that stuff go. Awesome. So the next thing that we're going to get into is working on our knee flexion. So that's hamstring, right? That's going to pull the heel to the butt. I want us to do this one from a prone position, so like lying on our stomachs. So maybe, let's see how this is here. Is this okay for everybody? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to turn my head and face sideways so I can talk to you guys, but you guys would be more than welcome to just interlace your fingers and rest your forehead on them. I want you to think about just gently trying to roll your hips backwards. So feel some pressure of your stomach coming off of the floor and feel some length coming into your low back. It doesn't feel so compressed. Really try to maintain that while we do this. Your elbows, you can even think about just trying to clamp your elbows into the floor as if you're trying to hug the ground. And what I want you to do is let's go right leg. Just gently flex the knee of the right leg and then let it return controlled to the floor. And again, flex the knee a little harder. Let it gently return to the floor. Now notice we're going to do 3 more reps. Every time you try to squeeze your hamstring to close the knee a little bit more, it makes your low back want to drop to the ground. It wants to make you shift your hips. So try not to squeeze so hard that you lose those hips that are rolling backwards. 1 more rep. Squeeze and hold. And let it go. So this part is kind of tricky. If you struggle with this part, if you're unable to grab on to your leg and hold it, then I want you to just squeeze and hold like we just did, but maintain. So if you're unable to do what I'm doing right now, all you're going to do when we go is just squeeze and hold. Cool? So try to grab on to that right foot and see if you can pull it tight to your butt as possible without it making your low back arch. So remember, we're trying to tuck the pelvis still. Okay? Everybody's got it? Now, start squeezing your hamstring hard as you can and gently let go of your foot and hold for a 10 count. Here we go. Squeeze and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab onto the foot again. Notice that it wants to spring away from your butt, so try not to let it. Keep it right where it is when you let go. Squeeze harder this time. Squeeze and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Grab it again. Reload it. Squeeze those hamstrings first, and now start letting go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Just gently let it relax. So now what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze the knee, and then we're going to try to lift the thigh off of the floor and twist the thigh out so we can place the knee as high and sideways as we can towards the right armpit, okay? And then we do the same thing to return. We try to lift the leg back up and pull it back to where it started. Okay, we're gonna do 5 reps. Here we go. Curl right knee, pick up right knee, pivot out, and plant it on the floor. Pick it back up, rotate back. Good, straighten out the leg. Remember the hips. Roll the hips backwards, hollow out the stomach, flex the knee, lift the knee, rotate the knee, plant it, lift back up, pivot back, straighten out the leg. Flex knee, lift, pivot, plant, lift, extend, knee down, legs straight. Again, flex, lift, pivot, and plant, lift, extend, and down. Good job. You guys can spin yourselves around, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Actually, sorry, you guys don't need to spin yourselves, I do. Never mind. All right, so same thing on the other side here. We can just rest our forehead, and we'll do 5 reps. Every rep, try to add some weight to the barbell. So first rep is an empty bar, just a gentle squeeze. Second rep, we'll squeeze a little harder now. Try to listen again. The harder you squeeze your hamstring, the more your low back is going to want to bow to the floor. So make sure you don't let it. Rep number 3, squeezing harder. Rep number 4, squeezing harder. And rep number 5, squeezing as hard as you can. And let it down. Cool. So now we'll grab on to the leg if we can. And remember, if not, you'll just squeeze and hold off the floor for 10 seconds. So here we go. We're squeezing hamstring. Start letting go of the foot. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Grab on again. Re-tuck your hips. Squeeze and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Grab again. Reset. Squeeze and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, gently let it go. We'll interlace fingers again, rest forehead down, and flex the knee, lift the knee, pivot to the side. Reset the stomach, lift the knee, reach it back, knee comes down, leg straightens out. Bend the leg, lift the knee, pivot out, and plant. Lift it back up. Place it down. 3 more. Squeeze, lift, come sideways, lift back up, reach back, come down. 2 more. Squeeze, lift, pivot, and plant, squeeze, return. Last one, squeeze, lift, pivot out, and plant, squeeze it again, lift, drop it down, and straighten out. Nice, you guys. So we can stand ourselves upright from here. Good, and you can just kind of shake things out a little bit. So when we're lying down on our stomach, that just helps make us a little bit more honest as we're trying to flex our knee. So you guys will notice a lot of times I'm flexing my right knee right now. As people start to flex the knee travels forwards. They have trouble flexing the knee and keeping it in line with the other one. So think about just kind of trying to pull your leg behind the line of your body the same time that you flex your knee and straighten it out, just like we did lying on the floor there. Just try a couple reps. And then same thing on the other side. Try a couple reps. And notice how bad your body wants to lean forwards and how bad your low back wants to lift up behind you, or your hips want to lift up behind you. You guys notice that stuff? So we'll try to be conscious of that. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do basically what we just did lying on the floor, but we're going to do that from standing. So again, if you want to grab a stick, if you want to just hold on to the wall, if you guys need to grab onto something for some support, that's fine. But what we'll do is we'll bring the knee out to the side, and from the side we're going to transition from twisting in, what we did at the beginning, to reaching back, what we just finished up with. Reaching back and twisting in, and then returning. So we're just doing like a little quarter circle here. We're going to try to kind of wax on, wax off, all right? We'll try to go a little slower. We're going to do 5 reps on each side. So here we go. Knee up, knee to the side, pivot the thigh inwards, try to keep height of the knee, and squeeze the hamstring while you reach the knee behind the other one. Squeeze the hamstring, go back to the start. Twist in, reach back, and return. Twist in, reach back, twist in, return. 2 more, twist in, reach back, return, and 1 more, twist in, reach back, and return. And that was totally fatiguing. Okay, same thing on the other side. Knee comes up, we'll pull the knee out to the side, and now pivot the thigh in, reach back, and return. Pivot thigh in, reach back, and return. Twist and reach, twist, return, reach back, reach, and return. Last one, reach back, and return. Woo. Cool. Shake those legs out. And now try to really listen to that hip, again, right to the capsule, right where the leg bone is meeting the socket of your hip. And just try to do your little leg circle. Knee up, knee to the side, knee back. How does it feel relative to when you started? Same thing on the other side. Knee up, to the side and back, return. How does that all feel? Try a couple squats. So get into whatever your squatting stance is and just drop down. See how it feels. Good. Not bad.
Yeah, good. Woo. Yeah.
Nice, you guys. Well done. Good job. Questions?
No, Good.
No, yeah, it was great. I mean, I know I need to do more of this.
Nobody with any knee pain on the inside of their knee when we did that 90-90 stretch? All good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got them anyways, though, Danny, so.
You have,
Knee pains,
you have knee pains, a lot of different knee pains?
yeah, I just had an operation there back in February, so.
Did you find trying to bend your knee more made it feel a little bit better?
A little bit, yeah. I'm getting deeper in my squat, which I couldn't do before, so it's good. So.
Yeah. So try to play around with the position more. Everybody is going to be a little bit different. So it doesn't have to be exactly 90 and 90 degrees. But see if you spend just a little bit more time there on your own, trying to find somewhere where you can still get that kind of sensation of that bone, of the head of the leg twisting in the socket without actually bringing on any of that irritation through the knee. Because that'll be really important, especially when we start to try to load that stretch when we're doing that like twisting in each direction. Making sure that it's free of irritations before doing so will really be like a make or break to whether what's happening is really going to be productive in the long term. And even just to review that super quick, if I just point this camera down and I go into my 90-90 position, remember that the more that I lean back and then lean in to it, the faster that's going to start to load this stuff up. And some people might even find if you come right up to like a bear sit and you just try to turn that leg in, you might even start to get some pretty good stuff happening through the hip without feeling those irritations. And all you have to do, if I turn to the side here, if I turn that leg in, and now I just start leaning into it a little bit, I've got a pretty good stretch happening through the inside of my hip, and I've got no irritations through the knee. And all I would have to do from here is just put my hand against the outside of my knee so I can resist my hand as if I'm trying to twist out. And then all I do from there is just try to pull away from my hand. So to see that view, I'm just twisting into my palm, and then I'm trying to twist further to the floor away from my palm. And that's how I would recreate that same push and pull, but from just a little bit. Does that feel better, Grant?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And just make sure that that butt cheek doesn't come up off of the floor. So only go as deep as you can. Yep. And then now that you can't go any deeper without butt cheek lifting up, now try to lean into it. Yeah. And now just gently lean in. Do you get some stuff going on?
Yeah, definitely up in here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. There we go. Nice. Any other questions? All good?
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah, great work tonight, you guys. I'll look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, and we'll carry on with all this stuff. But I highly recommend just like what we did tonight, just set a clock 2 minutes on each side and just play around with that internal rotation stretch and trying to find something comfortable for you.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you.
Great work.
Good
Thanks, Danny.
night.
Soon.
Bye.